Hey guys, it's Christy and I'm filming another video. I just filmed my books read from April to June, so I believe that's already up. There's Oreo. He's now in a little bit of a different position than the last video. But today I wanted to talk about the lovely world of audiobooks. So I tried listening to audiobooks at some point last year and I wasn't really feeling it. I listened to The Great Gatsby and Hunger Games. I liked Hunger Games better, but I think that was because I already read the story, so I could really follow along with it. I gave them up for a while. I said, you know what, I just don't think audiobooks are for me. Well, let's flash back to, like 2 months ago, when I believe I was getting really bad headaches. I don't know, I was sick somehow, and I couldn't read. So I said, you know, I'm gonna try audiobooks again and just like give myself something to listen to while I'm just like in bed, because I was in bed for most of the time. And I decided that I really enjoyed listening to audiobooks while I was doing nothing. I found that I could follow along very easily, and I listened to a bunch of them within the past few months. I like to listen to them when I'm cleaning up the apartment, when I'm walking the dog, before I fall asleep. If I'm like super tired and my eyes just want to close, I'll close my eyes and listen to one. And then my plans are, like, when I get back to the gym, to maybe listen to some during the gym. I don't know if that's going to be enough motivation though, as far as like music motivating at the gym, but we'll see how it goes. But let's get to the point of the video. The point of the video is I want to recommend some audiobooks that I have read within the past 3 months that I would highly recommend. Okie dokie. First off, we have The Diviners by Libba Bray. This book was awesome. Let me make a little side note. Most of these books I listened to, and I also had the book, so at some points I was reading along with it, but I never just read the book. I always was listening to the audiobook. So yes, The Diviners by Libba Bray was awesome. If you've seen that book, it is a big chunk of a book, and it was very intimidating, and sitting on my TBR shelf for, I don't know, since it came out in paperback, so a long time. I decided I'm gonna try it. Why not? I can read along with the book, and I really enjoyed it. So that would be my first recommendation. My next is, I'm gonna say, the whole Percy Jackson and the Olympians series. I listened to Titan's Curse, Battle of the Labyrinth, and The Last Olympian on audiobook, as well as like reading along at some points with it, and they're great. I had them sitting on my shelf for way too long. I just said, oh, you know, like when I get to it, I get to it. But I had been seeing a lot of buzz about Rick Riordan lately, and I was like, oh yes, I need to get to these. And if audiobook is going to jump me into it, I'm going for it. So I went for it. I listened to the last 3. Highly recommend them. I didn't listen to the first 2, but I am going to assume that they are as good as the last 3. Definitely. The next recommendation that I have, which looks to be, I have two more series of audiobooks. So I listened to Days of Blood and Starlight and Dreams of God and Monsters by Laini Taylor, and again, really thick books, especially Dreams of God's Monsters. That was huge, and it was just staring at me, and it was saying, read me, read me, read me, and all of these amazing reviews. So I said, you know what, I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to read you a little, but I'm going to listen to you. And I'm so glad I did, because I finished off that series, and it was great. Listening to it, the narrator was wonderful. She kept me really focused in the book, even when I wasn't reading along with it, which is something that I need out of an audiobook. I tried listening to, I forget what book, honestly, I forget what book it was, but I tried listening and the narrator was very monotone, and I I think I listened to maybe like 15 minutes of it, and I said, this isn't going to work. I'm going to have to read the book instead, which is fine. So yes, the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy on audiobook, go for it. And the last series is the Mortal Instruments in the Infernal Devices series. So I read the first book, and I was kind of at like a standstill, and I have all of them, so they were again just like sitting staring at me, and I said, well, let me try audiobooks. It's working for other stories, so let's see if it works for this one. Completely worked. I listened to the second, the third, and then the first in the Infernal Devices trilogy, and again, I read along with them, but I was always listening to the audiobook, so it was more audiobook than reading. And I loved them, and I'm making my way through them. I'm on hold right now for the next book, and I'm going to just continue that whole series reading them like that. I just want to let you know where I get my audiobooks from, and I use my library account, and I use the app Overdrive to borrow them. There always seems to be a hold on books that I want to read like right now, but that's okay. It's worth the wait, because I don't know if this audiobook phase is going to last long enough to sign up for Audible, but who knows. This works for me, and as I said, those are the books that got me into listening to audiobooks and really enjoying it. I hope you guys can try out some of my recommendations, and I will talk to you again soon. See ya.